Hey YouTube, good afternoon. I hope all is well. I hope everyone is having a great day. It's beautiful here in Cleveland, Ohio. I think it's in the 60s today, so I didn't have to wear my coat. I got on my turtleneck and it's not too hot, because it's like that in between time. Fall and spring are my favorite times of the year weather wise, okay, because it's that nice in between. I don't like the extremes of winter and I do not like the extremes of summer. Okay, I don't. It's either too hot in the summertime for me, wintertime it's too cold. And like here in Cleveland, like our winters are not as bad as I remember growing up. Okay, I mean, now this winter we had a couple of really bad storms where we were snowed in for a few days, maybe about a week or two apart. But for the most part, it's like growing up, it was like moon boots, snowsuits every day. Times that they would call school off, as I got older, no, school wasn't called up. I mean, it had to be really extreme for them to call school off. So the winters have gotten much milder here. But yet and still, I love in the fall that nice crispy air feeling and the leaves, changing colors. I love that. And in the spring, I love it because it's not too hot. It's nice and warm. It's just warm, not hot, and all the beautiful colors of the everything blooming, the flowers blooming. And even though it's nice here today, it's still kind of early. This is what is today, March 16th, so it's still fairly early. So I always look at some of the bushes and the trees to see when they start budding. Okay, when they start to bud, I know, hey, we are on our way. Even though still sometimes, they might be budding, we still might have, some snowfall here and there, but for the most part, that means spring is here. So it's a beautiful day today. I was making this video. I was watching this video today about some recipes that y'all who watch my channel, y'all see that I've been posting some of my cooking stuff on here and my recipes, and they've been like, have they all been vegan? I think vegan dishes, but so I was looking at a video today about 4 ways to make tofu. One of them looked really good. Okay, so I'm gonna try it. It's supposed to be kind of like in the put you in mind of KFC, okay, chicken. All right, it was a lot a lot of spices and stuff that went into it. Of course, we talk about KFC. That's what the chicken is about there. What is it? 11 herbs and spices or some shit like that. But anyway, but this video is like why I'm not vegan. Okay, like I said, my videos where my kitchen magician recipes, I said that I am not professing veganism. I'm not a vegan. I used to be a vegan. Okay, the first time I was always on this lose weight quest ever since I can remember. Ever since I was, hell, I think in like the 5th grade. I remember maybe before that. Okay, because I was always kind of thick. I mean, when I was little, I was real skinny. I don't know about real skinny, but I was smaller. And but my mom, when I say my mom, I'm talking about the lady who raised me, not the lady who gave birth to me, okay? And I probably will still call her my mom because she was my mother. She mothered me. She took care of me, okay? And she had me, I think, pretty much ever since I was an infant, all right? But so now I say I got 2 moms, okay? The woman who raised me, and she did a great job, and the woman who gave birth to me, okay, who I have communicated with, and she has communicated with me in her way. No, I'll just leave it like that. But anyway, so I was telling my mom one time that I wanted, I want a flat stomach, just, and I think I was in my early 40s or something. We was having this conversation because I've always had this little pooch. And one time I did get really small. I got down to like a size 1. And I laugh because I've never been a size 1. That was just, even when I was a teenager, I was never small like that, okay? I mean, I always remember size 14s and stuff like that. Well, I look back on pictures, it was like, oh, I wasn't as, chunky as I thought I was. But anyway, and I was telling her, I said, yeah, I can't get my pooch down. Even when I got down to a size 1, that thing just would not flatten out, okay? And my mom said to me, she said, well, why you want that? And I said, why? Because it looks good. That's what I want. She said to me, she said, I don't know why you want something you ain't never had. And I fell out laughing. I said, what you mean? I said, when I was a little girl, she said, you still had that little pooch, even when you was a little girl. But anyway, so because I was always like on this weight loss thing, like all my life, okay, and partly because like my brother, he was my older brother, he used to always call me fat, but we were kids, you know what I'm saying? Kids, siblings, they fight with each other, call each other names, blah, 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 this, that, and other. And I was a chunky kid at times, well, I'll put it this way, they used to call me solid. They said I was solid. My grandfather, I used to sit on my grandfather's lap all the time. Oh my gosh, I love my grandfather. I miss my grandfather. The house that I used to live in, which my grandparents owned that house, and it was left to me and my brother. People, I don't live there anymore, but people who I used to have over, there were quite a bit of people who came in that house and were like, who was that man? I never saw him. This is the thing. I never saw him. And when they described him, I was like, okay, that's my grandfather, And like, I feel like that was his, because I talked to my aunts about it, their father. This is my father's father. And they said, well, I could see him still being there because, well, they thought maybe he was kind of like trapped, like in between worlds or whatever. But then the more we talked about it, they were like, I kind of see him being there because like that was his home, Him and my grandmother owned 2 houses. One burned down to the ground, caught on fire. I was real little when that happened. So that was, their home, their house, that they worked for and, paid for it and everything. And they took care of it. And they did a lot of things, themselves. Okay. My grandmother, she taught me some things, and more so from watching her, just kind of it absorbed into my being, I guess you could say, in terms of they were fixer uppers. I think that's how you would say it. I even think, I might be wrong, but I could have sworn like the steps in the back porch, not the steps that were there when I lived there, but I think they even built those steps. I can't remember, but they would do stuff like that. But so anyway, back to what I was saying. So I was always on this quest to lose weight. And actually my brother, we talked about 2 or 3 years ago. He was like, did I do that to you? He was like, I'm sorry. So I thought that was nice. And I was like, well, we were kids. It's okay. In other words, he was asking, did he plant the seed in my mind of me always looking at myself as fat, And I was like, well, that might have had something to do with it, but don't worry about it. We were kids moving on with life. But anyway, so me being always on this quest to lose weight, I do remember, I gotta tell y'all this story though. When we were little, my brother said that he told everybody, and I was a little thing, okay. He was like, I'm gonna put Nikki on a diet, and he asked me if he could put me on a diet. And I was like, yeah, because it's my big brother, right? And he said, the diet is going to be 1 lettuce and exercise. And the name of the diet was A Way to Watch Your Weight. Of course, my mother did, but she was like, you ain't going to do that to that girl, because I was going to do it. Eat 1 lettuce and exercise. Okay, but anyway, so I was always on this quest to lose weight. So I was always, I remember in the 5th grade, I remember myself doing sit-ups. I remember we went to camp. And I would look at all the other girls and they were smaller than me. I thought they were. Sometimes when we have I don't want to say like I had body dysmorphia shit. Maybe I did. I don't know what I'm saying. I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But you know how we always criticize ourselves and put ourselves down, and put everybody else on this pedestal in whatever area. And some of them same people we put on the pedestal in whatever area are looking at us, putting us on the pedestal, like they look better than me, they're smaller than me. And you thinking, I'm fat and they smaller than me, blah, blah, blah. But I do remember going to camp. I remember I came back from camp and I didn't really know, because it was 5th grade. I think I was going into the 5th grade because it was the summertime. I didn't know anything about food, of course, but I always knew exercise, because me and my brother used to get up early in the morning when we were getting ready for school, and Richard Simmons would be on. Okay, who remembers Richard Simmons? Okay, and his exercise show, whatever it was called, I can't remember. So I remember coming back and I was doing sit-ups, trying to flatten my stomach, all the way back then. Okay, but anyway, moving on. So The first time that I really lost weight, I was 14 years. This ain't supposed to be a weight loss video. This is supposed to be why I'm not vegan, but I mean, yeah, so it's kind of incorporated. I was 14 years old and I just knew eat a lot of vegetables. So I started just eating a lot of vegetables. Okay. Now but I was still eating everything else, eat a lot of vegetables and exercise. So that's what I was doing. My mom, of course, she cooked old school. So I didn't know anything about, she put the butter in it and all that kind of stuff, and frozen vegetables or whatever kind of vegetables. But I would eat a lot of vegetables. And I remember I would run in place in my room watching Miami Vice and shit. Okay. Watching Miami Vice for like 30 minutes. Okay. Almost every day. And I lost like 9 pounds. Okay. Which was real visible. Everybody was like, oh, you look so good. This, that, and the other. But I didn't know anything about not eating meat and so on and so forth. So I think the next time, well, I was always on some quest to lose weight. Me and my mother had joined, it was a Christmas gift for me. It was me and her, some aerobics place. I can't remember the name of it, but back then in the 80s, aerobics was real big. Okay. So we would go there, and we didn't go all the time. Me and my mother would do Weight Watchers a lot. So, that stuff was sitting around the house. But when I was in college, still I was on this thing. I lose weight, gotta lose weight, gotta lose weight. And I remember a friend of mine, I can't remember his name, but I'm looking at his face, and I think he was from New Jersey. He told me, he said, just stop eating meat, because I was telling him I wanted to lose weight. He was like, just stop eating meat. And I was like, stop eating meat? He was like, yeah. He said, you want to lose weight? Just don't eat no more meat. Okay. And I was like, okay. I did it. I did that shit. So, and I lost weight. Okay. And I wasn't exercising, when I was in college, please. Okay, please. All right. Walking on campus and shit, going from class to class. And let me tell you something, honey. I went to school in DC, all right, to Howard University. Them hills were no joke. I mean, them blocks were super long blocks. I went through a point where, I was living off campus. I would walk to campus every day. That was hell. That was a walk, all right? And it was just a straight shot from my apartment building, but I think it might have been like a 20-minute walk or something like that. But we walked everywhere. I walked everywhere because I didn't have a car, And like I said, this is like my senior year I was doing that. But nevertheless, he told me to stop eating meat. So I think I was a junior when I did that. So I did go through a spell where I didn't eat no meat just because I wanted to lose weight. Actually, I think it was my senior year. It was my senior year. It was that summer going into my senior year, because I stayed in DC for the summer. We had a ball, okay? But anyway, and we would literally walk from, anybody familiar with DC, from 14th and Fairmount, sometimes me and my girls, okay, my friends, my roommates and whatnot, we would walk from 14th and Fairmount all the way to Georgetown. All the way to Georgetown and back. Listen, because, we didn't really have money, you know what I'm saying, to get on the bus and all of that type of shit. Sometimes we did, but sometimes we didn't, So that was a hell of a walk, all right, because got to Georgetown, walked some more up and down the hill. Y'all know, anybody know Georgetown, y'all know that hill, okay, and up and down the hill, going in and out of shops and all that kind of thing, and walked back. I had a job all the way down at the end of the hill, okay, from where I lived, okay. And when I say these hills in DC were steep, okay. Sometimes I would take the bus, okay, if I was running late. Normally I was late. This was in the summertime, and DC summers were woof. Listen, I absolutely love Washington, D.C. to this day, even with all the gentrification. I went there, about 6 years ago, and I was like, oh, my God, I didn't know where the hell we were. My friend, because she stayed in the area. My friend did. She was like, girl, you know where we at? I was like, no, I don't. And she told me, I could not believe it. We were really right by campus, but it's been so gentrified and changed so much. But DC still got that DC flavor, honey. But I was very disappointed with some of the things that happened in DC. But you all familiar with old school DC, honey. They tore down the Pyramid bookstore. The Blue Nile bookstore was gone. Just a lot of fucking changes. Okay, I was really upset about that. But I still love I love DC. I mean, it's just like, that's home for me, okay? Way. Okay, back to the why I'm not vegan thing, all right? But so I had lost a hell of a lot of weight that summer because I wasn't eating meat. We were hanging out a lot, you know, and then it was summer, so what we didn't do a whole lot of cooking. But like I said, I had a roommate from New Orleans, so we would cook a lot of beans. She knew how to cook a pot of beans, okay, okay, beans and rice. You know, we had our fried daddy, we had our potatoes, you know, shit like that, okay. Poor people, you know, what we say, we'll say poor people food, but it was food and very nutritious. You know, beans are very nutritious, okay. Potatoes are good for you, all that type of shit, okay. So, but anyway, I would walk down that hill all the time, okay, and walk up the hill. And like I said, sometimes I would catch the bus. That was a walk, and that hill was no fucking joke, okay? And then I would go to Subway a lot and get a veggie sub. Because I was like, I'm not gonna eat no meat. My reason for not eating meat it was no political shit. Okay, it didn't have nothing to do with it. I just wanted to lose weight. My friend had told me, just don't eat no meat. Okay, listen, I would get that veggie sub. Would I get a whole sub or like a 12 or a 6? I can't remember. I think I would get a 12-inch. Okay. And I would make veggie sandwiches too when I didn't get the sub. But then I would get the huge bag of Lay's sour cream and onion chips. Love them, honey. I love them. Okay, and they had more flavor to them back then. Okay, and the bag they didn't have. It wasn't a huge family size bag they have now, but it was the big bag for back then. Okay, honey, I downed that bag of chips with that veggie sub with no meat on it. And just the plain vegetables and all of that. Well, I lost so much weight. Now, for those of you who are familiar, Soul Vegetarian was there. Soul Vegetarian is a restaurant that's owned and operated by the African Hebrew Israelites of Jerusalem, which I was a part of their community, became affiliated with them years later. Okay, but anyway, so they were vegan. Okay, so I would go in there and get a lot of us got their food because the food was slammy. This shit, it wouldn't have nothing to do with I'm vegan, I just gotta eat, you know, this food. No, that food was good as hell. You understand what I'm saying? But that's when I had money. Okay, mind you, I was a college student. Okay, like I said, we stayed there that summer, but still, you know, still a college student, so I didn't have a lot of money. But anyway, and then I did wait tables. Did I wait tables before? I was a server at two. Well, it was two restaurants, but they were owned by the same couple, a married couple from New York City. And the food was so good. Okay, I'll say that story for another day. All right, but anyway, so you know, I always had at one point I did always have money in my pocket just from tips. All right, but not a lot. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? So anyway, I did eventually when I came back to Cleveland. Well, it's been about 18 years now, 17 years now that I've been back here, okay? And that's a whole nother long story. I had no intention of being here this long, but I came back. Cleveland is one of those type of places where I have talked to so many people who are from here, who left here, came back to visit, okay? I met one person who actually came back to visit, just to visit his family. And he was like, I ain't get up off that couch and It's like I've been here ever since, you know. Or people who left and maybe had to come back for, you know, a short period of time and just ended up staying. I'm one of those people. Cleveland is like that. I do not know what it is about this city. Okay, that will suck your ass in, okay? But it does. Okay. You got to be on your P's and Q's. I'm just going to visit and I ain't staying in that mug, okay? Or don't visit, okay? But anyway, so my intention was only to be here a year, okay? Here we are, 17, 18 years later. All right, but anyway, so my early years when I came back to Cleveland, I became a part of the African Hebrew Israelites of Jerusalem because they had a mission here, all right? Got very involved with the community. I think I was only in for a good 2 years, maybe. I don't think it was 3, but a good 2 years. Went to Israel, all of that type of thing. I'll talk about that experience another time. So I was vegan during that period of time because we were vegan, you know, and it was a community, all right? So I followed the rules and regulations, okay? But I liked it. You know, I liked the vegan eating. It was very good, okay? So vegetarian, honey. So the food was very good. Even before I came back to Cleveland, when I was living in Atlanta, when I was in seminary, they have a mission there. So I would go to that So Vegetarian all the time. I was not vegan then, okay? But anyway. So the reason why I am not vegan now, okay? the reason why I've been eating kind of vegan lately, okay, and I can't say fully vegan because I've eaten meat, is like I said in the video, I felt one morning, it's like I woke up or I was going to bed, one or the other, I was in the bed, and it was like I need to detox, I need to clean my system out because I hadn't done that in years. Okay, I had got to the point where I was like, I don't even believe in that, the body cleans itself out, so on and so forth, and it does, but at the same time, if you've been feeding it garbage and trash, you need to, like this fasting, even fasting, it helps to detox the system. Okay, and I have not fasted in years. Okay, but anyway, I used to fast a lot. Okay, but I haven't done it in a long time, and I felt like it was a long time, like I just couldn't do it, like I just couldn't get my mind on it, set on it to actually do it. All right, but just doing some work, some work on myself, personal work, shadow work, and all that type of thing, it just was there, and I said, I better grab this while I can, because if I don't pay attention to it and I skip it, then who knows, the feeling that I'm having right now, the ability to be able to go ahead and do that detox, it might be gone, and who knows when it will come back. So I was like, get on it right now, because I was feeling like, okay, I can do this now. So I started, just but what I started doing was I just started eating a lot of raw salads. Okay, and I don't mean just the typical like just romaine with some veggies and whatnot. I did do that, but I mean just I would just cut up vegetables, cauliflower, whatever. Okay, and make me a salad. All right, and eat like that for a few days. And I was like, I think I can, because I was only gonna do it for a few days, and I was like, I think I can go longer. Okay, cut back on the sugar, because every morning I would have coffee with my cream and sugar. Okay, coffee with my cream and sugar. And so sometimes I would get, use the excuse, well, I'm not using sugar, I'm using agave. Coffee with my cream and sugar. Okay, because I liked it a certain way, so I'll put a lot of cream in it, a lot of sugar in it. So I was like, let me cut back on the sugar. I was doing this thing where I was almost eating a sweet type of dessert almost every night, and one day I just realized, man, I gained a lot of weight. It wasn't just the weight gain, it was also, like I said, the health factor, because of the things that I was eating. I knew it's like I need to, and I would give myself excuses like, okay, like I wouldn't eat processed stuff. I'm eating, okay, maybe it was like a Philly steak or something like that, and I'm like, okay, it's beef, it's bread, it's cheese. All of this is whole food except maybe the cheese, it's processed. Okay, but it's like, yeah, but fried potatoes, like, yeah, but you're doing that like almost every night, and you eating some kind of sweet dessert. Stop. And then it just hit me one day. I just kind of looked, and I was like, okay, I could just feel the weight gain. And for me, it was like with the weight gain, not always necessarily, I'm talking about me personally, it was also a matter of, you're not eating healthy, you're not eating your vegetables, you're not eating your fruit. And this is how I used to eat, for years, and I stopped. So I said, well, after about the third day of me doing the vegan thing, or the salads, okay, and whatnot, what would I eat for breakfast? I would just like eat a fruit for breakfast. Okay, my drink, that if you all haven't seen my little daily tonic drink that I make, I think I called it Kenyatta's tonic or Kenyatta's tea. I think I changed it to Kenyatta's tea. I started making that every morning instead of having coffee, because I would have coffee in the morning and in the evening. But again, it wasn't so much the coffee, it was what I was adding to it, all the cream and sugar that I was adding to it. Okay, so after about like I would have my fruit for breakfast, and I'll have some kind of salad I put together for lunch. I mean, I was eating raw green beans, raw cauliflower, the bell peppers, garlic. If I had lettuce, like romaine lettuce or something, I would add it to it. I didn't have to have that. Avocado, raisins, dates, adding that to it, because I like that in my salads. Okay. And then I was just using tahini dressing, dressing for, for the dressing for the salad. And I think after the third day, I said to myself, I can do this a little bit longer. I felt like I can keep going, So I think this is probably week 4. Okay. Now, I've still eaten meat. Okay. And sometimes I've gotten some of the processed vegan meats. Okay. The fake meats, not too much though. Okay. Because like I said, it's still processed. And then if you look, at the ingredients, it's like some of this, I don't know what this is, but I do know what I do know what chicken is. Okay, I do know what beef is. I do know what pork is. Okay, now I'm not saying that they don't do things to these meats. Okay, we know it's some trouble in the mix. Okay, So when I can, like, there's a grocery store here that I go to. It's family owned. It's local. They have like some meat, like chicken from the Amish country. I'll get some of that, and they've had it there for years. I'll get that. I think my aunt told me about Bell and Evans chicken. Sometimes, if I can get to a meat market, where well, there's one I go to here. I haven't been in a long time, but I think they told me they get their meats from like local farmers. Okay, I'm not 100% sure. All right, which would be organic local farmers, but I'm not 100% sure. But the reason that I am not vegan, like I said, I used to eat all of the fake dairy meat, the dairy, the cheeses, the vegan butters, all that, and some of the ingredients. Okay, it's just like it's whole, but it's still processed, and I just personally feel like processed food is not, therein lies the issue, processed foods. And I'm not saying you should never eat any processed foods. Okay, we do. Okay, but it's how much of it that you're eating, and you really don't ever have to eat anything processed. Meat is whole, vegetables are whole. I can eat those and be satisfied. Nuts. Okay, I really don't eat seeds too much, all right, but seeds, grains, things of that nature. But the reason I'm not vegan, but I do like vegan meals, I do, okay, because it's good to me, okay, but I'm not talking about processed vegan stuff. Like I said, like vegan, the fake meats that they have, the burger patties and the sausages and all of that kind of stuff. I do every blue moon, like tofu, which is just soybean, okay, processed soybean. I will make some tofu, okay. Like the other night, I made some quote unquote vegan ribs. It was my first time. All right, I missed something. I don't know if I needed it, because in the video she specified only needed, if anybody knows what seitan is, Seitan, I think it's spelled seitan, and it's really just flour and water. Okay, it's bread. That's how I look at it. I'm like, it's bread. You know what I'm saying? It's flour and water, but that is a vegan staple. Okay, but you can make it yourself. So I made it, and in this particular video I watched, this particular recipe, she said only needed like 2 to 3 minutes, but I needed it a little longer than that. And then when I put it in the oven, I put it in, because the oven that I had, this new house that I moved in, this is not appliances that I purchased, okay, it's my daughter bakes, so she really knows that oven. She was like, you got to turn it up much higher than what the thing, whatever it calls for, because it just won't, it takes so long to really heat up, okay. And so I did it higher and I did it longer, so I was like, it didn't come out, it came out like a piece of savory bread with barbecue sauce on it. Okay, like, these ain't the vegan ribs I had in the past. But vegan ribs for me is like, that ain't gonna replace no slab of ribs. It's not. I like ribs, okay, but I like that too, okay. So I'm not dogmatic about it. Like, it has to, if you're not vegan, you're not healthy. You have to eat this, you have to eat that. No, I believe in balance. Okay, I like the balance of it. All right, now, I like both. I like both. Okay, I like meat. I'm not a huge dairy person. I'm just not. I used to love cheese when I was younger. I give me a burger, I don't need no cheese on it. I'm not a huge fan of pizza. It's not nasty. I'm just not a huge. That's very rare. I'm gonna eat that. I just not crazy about dairy products. I do like ice cream. But even that, just I get kind of bloated when I eat it. It's just a dessert. I don't have to. I'll eat ice cream, like, to break up, that chocolate cake, because it's super chocolatey, something like that. Okay, I personally, I like soy milk. It's not because I don't get it because I'm on this vegan thing or whatever. I like it. I like the way it tastes. I like, what the other things that I can do with it. I don't like cow's milk. I never liked cow's milk. Even when I was a little girl in school, and we had to order what kind of milk we wanted. I always would get chocolate because I could stomach it. Ugh, I'm sorry for people that like it. I'm sorry. I used to drink that stuff like this, a whole hold my nose and open my mouth because it just, I hate the smell of it. I had got some organic milk one. I don't care. It's just something about it. It just grosses me out. Okay. So I don't like milk, cow's milk. Okay. But if I'm going to drink milk, I like soy milk. I don't like almond milk. I don't like oat milk. I don't like hemp milk. I don't like coconut milk. I don't like cashew milk. I don't like those. Now I did used to make sesame seed milk. I used to make that myself, okay? And I would use that sometimes and stuff. Not to just drink straight, because sesame seed, when you blend it, is a bitter, okay? But I like to make some other dishes. I would use it. Put dates in it, some kind of sweetener in it sometimes, okay? But other than that, that's the only reason I would make sesame seed milk. I might do a video on it, okay? But other than that, I just like soy milk, so I just kind of like, found, it's like live in balance for you. What's about, that's for me, I don't think being vegan is going to save your soul and make you whole, okay? I don't think, personally, I don't think that being vegan is something about, I hear people talk about the light body, they make you get your light body and all that kind of what thing. You have to be, vegan or you can't eat meat. I don't believe in that. Okay. I don't believe that. Okay. There have been people who have become enlightened beings. Maybe we call them, ascended masters and all that kind of thing, that were not vegan, okay, and that did eat meat. So I don't believe that. I feel like personally, I think that there's a scripture, something that says something about be careful. In other words, it's not so much what you put in your mouth in terms of food, okay, but what comes out of the mouth, okay. But also, it's like you can be a vegan. You can call yourself having this great healthy diet, or that's supposed to equate to your spirituality, but or whatever, okay, but still have a spirit of negativity, okay, a spirit of just a low vibrational type thing, like living in your lower chakras in the way that you think, okay, low vibrational, whatever, okay. I'll just scratch all that and say negative, all right. And because I realized it's like, it's not, because it was like this health, after the lose weight quest, it became this health quest for me. And then the more I lived and the more I experienced, the more I realized it's like, sometimes it don't matter what you put. I mean, I would watch videos of people who live well into, well, I ain't gonna say well into their hundreds, but 100 or older, okay. And I used to love to watch these videos. And what was it, people, they're asking, oh, what was your diet like? And I mean, these people like 100-some years old, and, lived in a time where like that wasn't that major of a deal like it is now, okay? And I'm not that it wasn't ever important. I mean, we see evidence where they've been talking about diet and food, forever. I mean, we see it in our religions and whatnot, these, ancient religions, okay? Okay, but one of the running themes that I found with a lot of these people were they drank a shot of whiskey daily, because when they were asked, it was always like, I don't know, every day I drink a shot of whiskey. A lot of them would eat pork. Okay, I had 2 slices of bacon every morning. Some of them smoked, cigarettes, cigars. Okay, and it just showed me it's not always about, what you're putting in your mouth in terms of food, for your physical rejuvenation, okay? And, I'm sure that it has, because we're holistic beings, so I'm sure that it has some kind of benefit spiritually and emotionally as well. But it's also the state of mind. What is your state of mind? I feel like that is what's going to determine your state of being. Your state of mind. You understand what I'm saying? You can be vegan if you want to be, but what's your state of mind? Are you negative? Are you sad? Are you depressed? Are you bleak? Are you always unhappy? And some of these things that we may find ourselves in, those states of being that we may find ourselves in for whatever reason, sometimes, I ain't gonna say all the time, I want to be fair, but sometimes it's a choice. We make a choice, and sometimes it's, depending on the situation, depending on the circumstance, it can be difficult to overcome Okay, to make a choice. Okay, I'm not going to live in this sadness. I'm not going to live in this depression. I'm not going to live in this circumstance that has brought me to this place or brought me down or whatever the case may be. It can be difficult to rise above it. Okay, but it's still like, but the great awesome thing about it is we still have a choice to rise above it, and to try to live in a state of, I was gonna say in a state of continued, joy, bliss, maybe peace, something like that. But I think as human beings, it ain't gonna, even if you make a choice to rise above it, you're gonna have some good days, you're gonna have some bad days. But the recognition of, I'm gonna have some good days, I'm gonna have some bad days, I'm gonna have some days where I don't feel too happy about this situation or my life or this circumstance, whatever the case may be. But then I'm gonna have some days where, some good days. Okay, regardless of what's happening in my life, regardless of this, this pitiful ass circumstance that I might find myself in, or whatever the case may be. Okay, like me, I said I got two moms. So I just discovered, like in December, wait a minute. The woman that raised me is not the woman that gave birth to me. Okay, and just everything that went with that, dealing with that. I have some good days, you know what I'm saying, and I have some bad days, well, I'll put it this way: I have some good days and I have some not so good days concerning that. I have some good moments, but I have some not so good moments concerning that. But it's just that I even times when it's really hard for me and really difficult for me, it's like concerning the circumstances around it, it's like I told myself, I don't care, I am not going to stay, feeling broken. Okay, because there were some moments I felt really broken behind some of the circumstances of that, and finding that out, and this, everything that led up to that, to me finding it out. And even in that, I'm grateful, for those things, because some of those things, if they had not have occurred, I think about it some days, I'm like, man, if that shit hadn't happened, if this hadn't happened, or if that hadn't happened, and it was quite a few things going on with me, okay, I wouldn't have found this out if I was still in the same place that I was in. I may not have ever found out, okay? All right. So, in all things, give thanks, okay? But nevertheless, why I'm not a vegan plus other information, it's just because for me, I've gotten to a place where I want balance in my life, and this is the balance for me. I like vegan meals. I enjoy, making the tofu taste like KFC fried chicken, if I can do that. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy it, and I like the taste of it. Okay, I like the taste of some of a lot of the vegan meals. Okay, but hell yeah, I like my chicken too, my fried chicken. I like my, my roast beef. I like pork. It's a time that I didn't eat pork. I eat pork now. Okay, but even with that, balance. Okay, because I like the fat on me. I love it. Okay, that shit is good. Okay, all the flavor in it. But I recognize and realize you can't eat all that fat, because I will. Okay, I'll be one of them. I'll sit there. I'll sit right there. And you don't want the fat on your meat? Put it right here on this plate. I will do that type of shit. Okay, like when we were kids, my brother, he used to take the chicken skin off his chicken. Guess who asked for it? I did. I loved it, okay? But he got tired of me asking for it, so he used to put it in his pocket. My mom, when she be washing his clothes, and she go in his pocket and it's a chicken skin in there, because he didn't want me to have it. You understand what I'm saying? Because I was always asking for it or whatever, okay? But again, that's just why I'm not vegan. I had also found that some of the nutrients and whatnot that you will find in dairy products, that you will find in meat, it's like, okay, do I eat it? And I do like the taste of it. Do I eat it to get, with balance, to get those nutrients and those vitamins, that are found in these products? Or do I go pop a vitamin or a pill for that? Now, I do take my vitamins and whatnot, but you understand what I'm saying? Well, you ain't getting that particular vitamin in there, meaning go take that extra pill. That pill that's been processed in some lab somewhere. Okay, that has some natural stuff to it. Of course, it has to, okay? But no, thank you, So, that's my spiel on why I am not a vegan. I just choose balance, And chicken thighs I had the other night, Sunday night. I made some curry chicken with it. It was so good. Me and my daughter was, This was good, girl. Because I had never really made curry chicken before. Well, what I used to do is I just throw some curry powder on it, okay? Well, it's like, look up a recipe. So I found a recipe. So I had made some curry wings one night, and I said, okay, I asked her, because I have this special dish that I make with chicken thighs and spaghetti sauce and noodles and everything, and I add olives to it and just a whole bunch of good stuff, okay? We really like that. I said, do you want that or do you want it curried? And she said she wanted it curried, like we had it. And it was good, honey. Yeah. And I just finished the last thigh yesterday, okay, for my dinner. But for lunch, I had me, my, what kind of salad did I make yesterday? With my Kira Supreme salad that I made with my vegan sauce. You understand? I like the taste of it all, okay? But that's that, all right? So y'all be blessed. Remember, learning promotes growth. Growth promotes understanding. Understanding promotes community. Like, share, and subscribe. Check out my website, kenyattasintuition.com, where I offer readings, tarot readings, psychic readings, mediumship. I have some pendulums on there, some other products that I'm going to be adding, hopefully by this weekend. And that's all I got tonight. Check out me and Sunkiss Spiritual Consulting, or Mrs. Sunkiss. We are going to continue on with the Isis papers, honey. I'm having a good time reading this. It is so soul-filling. It's awesome. I just like this, all right? But anyway, y'all be blessed. Peace.